Hey y'all, Kayla here. Welcome to Coaching with Kayla. Today, I want to take it back old school and talk about something that maybe you haven't thought about for quite a long time. Did you have a favorite board game growing up? For me, it was always Clue. Clue was my favorite board game, and it still is. I love playing Clue. I love winning Clue most of all. I'm a board game nerd. I love playing board games. I think it's so much fun. Yesterday, I was playing this one, Chutes and Ladders, with my girls, my 4-year-old and my 7-year-old. And you can see this is the classic 70s edition. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of board games these days, they are not made well like they used to be back in the day. But I wanted to share Chutes and Ladders with you today because while it is not my favorite board game, I really learned something from it and realized something from it whenever I was playing it with my girls yesterday. So in case you don't remember, the board from Chutes and Ladders, you guys, it looks like this, okay? Lots of chutes, lots of ladders. And so you start here at the bottom at 1, and your goal is obviously to get up here to the top at 100. And there's a lot in between here and here. So what I found so interesting is that whenever we were playing yesterday, my kids thought that whenever you spin the little wheel and you get your number of steps that you can take, that first of all, that it was just going to go linear up, right? And then whenever they would hit a ladder and get to ascend up higher, they were really excited about that. That made so much sense to them. But then whenever they would land on a chute and have to go down, that something had gone terribly wrong. Like they were really upset about the chutes. Especially my 4-year-old. She, once she hit a couple of chutes, she was kind of like, I'm done. I don't really want to play this anymore. This is not fun. And so I kind of had to talk her back into playing the game. I was pretty lucky. So I hit this 28 and I went all the way up. But the thing about it is, then I hit a 4. And so I went right back down. And whenever I was up here, my girls were like, oh, Mom, you're going to win. You're going to win. And anytime anybody hit a ladder and went up higher, they immediately assumed that that person was going to win. But we all know that that's not exactly how it works, right? Because then you can land on a chute and you can fall back down. Now, why am I telling you this? Why are we talking about this? It's because your goals are the same way. We think that if we have our goal in mind and we have our steps all laid out, that we are just going to go from where we are now to where we want to be in a linear function, right? We expect it just to be a straight line. But whenever we hit a pitfall, whenever we hit a chute, if you will, whenever we take, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back, whenever it feels like that, then we think that something has gone wrong. And a lot of times we're kind of like my 4-year-old, right? Like we're moving our way towards our goal and then we hit one of those chutes and we think, I'm out of here. Maybe this isn't for me. This was not such a good idea. This isn't fun anymore. I think I'm done with it. But what I want to show you and what I was learning yesterday from my kids whenever we were playing this game is that it is supposed to be this way. This is the way that going for a big challenge works. It is not linear. It is not constantly making progress. Sometimes it's progress, sometimes it's a setback. Sometimes it's progress, sometimes it's a setback. What makes it a goal that is worth achieving, what makes it a challenge is the opposition. It is the risk for the chute. It's the risk for the setback. So I heard Jim Rohn say something yesterday that I had never heard before. He said, if a football player takes a football and just walks into the end zone, is it a touchdown? And the answer is no, right? If there's no game going on, if there's no opposition, if there's no opposing team, simply walking into an end zone with a football does not create a touchdown, right? There has to be a game. There has to be opposition. And the same thing with chutes and ladders. And so while my 4-year-old did not think that it was very much fun to hit the chutes and to not make very much progress, at the same time, think about what a boring game it would be if all you did was spin the wheel, get the number, and just move all the way up the board, knowing that there was no risk of a chute. How much fun would that be? Really, would you play that game again? No, of course not. Of course not. The whole reason the game is fun or interesting is because of the chutes. So whenever you come upon a chute, No, but nothing has gone wrong. Another thing to think about is that I, as an adult playing this game, know for a fact that if I continue spinning the wheel and I continue moving on this board, no matter how many ladders I hit and how many shoots I get, eventually I will make it to the goal. Every time. Every time. It's just if I play long enough. Now, of course, in the game, you're playing against competition. It's to see who gets there first. But if everyone continues playing, everyone reaches this spot. The problem is, with our goals, we expect, just like the 4-year-old, to not hit the shoots. We expect to not hit the shoots. And what's so crazy is that so often what happens is we give up whenever we hit the shoot right here, when we are so close. And yet we give up whenever we're right there. So today I want to offer to you to just remember this whenever you hit a setback. Shoots are going to happen. It does not mean that anything has gone wrong. And if you keep going, you'll get there. So whenever we were playing yesterday, another thing that happened is I kind of got stuck in a loop, you guys. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I was right here and I would go, and then I would go back and I just kept working this loop right here, right? So sometimes we can get stuck and we can have a hard time figuring out how to actually make progress. And it's in those times that it can be really hard to keep going and really hard to move forward. If you find yourself stuck, if you find yourself at the bottom of a chute, not sure what to do next, having a hard time making that next step, that's a great time to meet with a life coach. While this game has a lot to do with the luck of the spin, in real life, we make a lot of decisions. And so it can be really helpful to have an outside perspective to help you see what's going on, what's causing the chute, and how to navigate around it the next time. On coaching consultations, that's what we do. We look at where you're at, where you want to be, what's tripping you up, and then give you direction on how to get where you want to go. So if you want to find out more about that, you can check out my website, coachingwithkayla.com. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.